Hello my lovelies. Today I'm going to be talking about my favourite books of 2015. Yes, I'm aware that we're a quarter of way through 2016 and I'm very late on this, but I wanted to do it, so... This is going to be my top 5 books of 2015, but I'm also going to include the 5 after that, so my top 10. I am just going to mention the top 10 though, and really get into depth with my top 5. If you want to know more about all of my top 10, I posted 4 reviews over on my Goodreads, which I will link to in the doobly-doo below. So let's get started. My 10th favourite read of 2015 was A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGuinnis. Number 9 was Goodbye Stranger by Rebecca Stead. Number 8 was The Next Together by Lauren James. Number 7 was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. And number 6 was Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. And now to give some more in-depth reviews of my top 5. My 5th favourite book of 2015 was All the Bright Places by Niven. This book gets lumped in a lot with the Fault in Our Stars type books, those sad romances. And although it was a sad romance and it was just so beautiful and so wonderful and made me sob my eyes out, I think it's different. It's more special. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think you should definitely read it if you haven't. It's really, really beautiful and just gave me all the feels. Number 4 was These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. Now I posted a full review of this book on my channel in October, and if you watched it, you will know how much I adored this book. It has everything. It has mystery, it has romance, it has feminism, it's a historical read. Oh, it's just so great. Do not be put off by how weighty it is. It is well worth the read. I genuinely believe it was the most underhyped book of 2015 and it deserves a lot more love than it is getting. Number 3 I actually don't have a physical copy of, and that is The Martian by Weir, which I read on my Kindle. It took me a long time to get around to reading this because although I'd been hearing incredible things, I just kind of thought it'd be really boring. It's about a guy stuck on Mars, but it's not. It's so clever, it's so funny. I genuinely was laughing out loud while reading it on the tube. And the film adaptation of the book is also fantastic. Matt Damon was great. I hold Weir in such high praise now because his book is so intelligent. Everything that Mark Watney's character does, he had to think of, and it's so scientific, but not in a boring, you feel over your head way. And it's also one of only 2 adult reads that made it to my top 10. So the fact that it made it to number 3 is a big deal. Definitely go read The Martian. Now deciding between my number 1 and number 2 books for this was really, really difficult because they are so incredibly different. But I think I finally did it. My second favourite book of the year was We Should All Be Feminists. I don't even want to pronounce that name because I think I will butcher it, but I think it's Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is a really short read. It's actually a book version of her TED talk about feminism, and it is great. I want everyone in the world to read this book. It describes feminism and why we need it so perfectly. It's just such an easy read. I think I read it in like half an hour. So beautiful and so intelligent, and I cannot rave about this enough. Go buy it, it's tiny, it's cheap, you will just love it. And the book that got the top spot for 2015 is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So the first 4 or 5 months of last year, I was in a massive reading slump. I was reading a lot of new releases, a lot of new dystopian and fantasy YA releases, and they all became very samey and I was very bored of them and having to force myself to read. And I thought I'd grown out of YA literature. I thought I was done with it. And then I read this book. Oh, this series is just so great. I actually think that my favourite in the series is Crown of Midnight. If you've read it, you'll know why. Ships come together, there's a lot of romance, which is one of my favourite things to read about, but I had to give this a top spot because it starts off the series and it is addictive. It is one of the few times recently where I've not been able to sleep because I've just been reading this novel at like 3 in the morning. I've been hearing about this book for such a long time and I was kind of put off reading it because you get to the point where people talk about it so much that you just don't want to read it. But boy oh boy am I glad I did. Selena is the most incredible character. One of my favourite things is that she is so badass, but again, she's not one of those girls who's like, I'm unlike other women, which, you know, Katniss Everdeen. She likes dressing up, she likes amazing clothes, and I love that about her. I just think she's a really great character, and everyone needs to read this book. I love it, I love it, I love it. I think I should stop before I just gush about the same books over and over. In the comments below, please let me know what your top 10 or top 5 of 2015 was, if you read any of these books, what you thought of them, all that jazz. I hope you're having a wonderful day and don't mind me posting this video super late. I'm just a bit behind on the times, okay? As always, be sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!